name is Jessica Holyfield, and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we are here taking a look at &TEAM's track Scar to Scar, the performance video. I'm excited for this. This is a Patreon request. Shout out to Kalish for the request. I'm ready. I hope you are. Let's go. Yeah. Hey. Ooh. Nice. That's a cool shot right there. That was really, really cool. Okay then. So I just saw right here in the corner they had something, was it 2024 TMA Scar to Scar? Right here. Let's watch it. Look at those snaky basket runs. I'll take those. Oh, chicken wings. Oh. Ah! Oh, okay. All right, so that looks like an intro, and now we're going to the original. Whoa! So it's the Korean version. Yeah! Nice. Cool. Nice. Cool. Hey. Cool. Nice. Dancers added a really fun element into that. Just the quantity helps, as well as the intro looked really cool. So if y'all are good with this, I think Alicia, I think you'll be fine with this too. The performance version was really cool, and it did look like they kept most of it the same here once it started scar to scar. So we may just analyze it here because it is a fixed cam. So from the top of our TMA, I'm assuming it's the end of the year or just a performance for a show, right? So I'm not going to be able to look at the original, but it's because this will get blocked on YouTube if I even attempt to even Google it, honestly. So right here from the top, let's go. So we have our dancers, they take their arms. I like the choices of whenever we do choose to snake and our basket runs are bouncing them, just something that's not just running away and running to something. It's always a tempo thing or a dynamic thing. So I like Team just walking to the back. Cool. It does look like they're even on the same steps together, which I find to be fun. Then you have your dancers, they do a nice just wave snaking to get them to their next spot, which is cool. They present and they slide, and they accent down. I like the bounce on that. Really cool. 3, 4. Then we just run. Now we do have a build in the music, so maybe you can kind of get away with it that way. And yes, getting to your spot in an efficient way is a lot of times why people opt to do basket runs, but I still feel like that could have been something that would have worked in a different dynamic, just like they showed us in the beginning, right? But that's just, wishful thinking. That's whatever. You have your members right there in center. So I like that they go down. I love that ripple all the way out. Super dope inside to out. Then you have about 4 outliered up. Got 5 outliered down. Then they go. I like the little body roll on that. The tension on the chest is really cool there. They drop low. I like the switch off on that. And then we end up going and taking it. So now we have our dancers. They double bounce on that, which is really cool. I like the intensity of it, especially the fringe. You can really tell on their fringe how they're really going for it. So the slide through, I like that. So they take it. I like the pick up on the arms. Boom. They cross. And I really like, I think we ended up, clapping, right? Oh, it's just the steps. When you hear their steps, it sounds like a clap. It's just probably the acoustics of the space and the type of floor they have, right? But anyway, I like the accent out, boom, boom, and they go. Nice little, hovering punch to each other, which is really cool. Some subtlety. I like how we just rock it from one side to the other. Really nice. They hit it through, hit, boom, 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 and I like the clock, boom, of the chest to the top. That's really cool. I like how we have our dancers clap with their inside leg lifting up to create more fullness in that range. They go hit, hit, boom, boom. This is so syncopated. Goodness gracious. So our dancers are hitting out and down up, and then you have your members. They clap. They do a little Pac-Man. They go Pac-Man, doom, doom. So I love how we transferred it where it was a little bit more, it was still tension based in team, but they weren't syncopating all those sounds because we held them on stage a little bit longer, right, than our dancers. Then our dancers run and then they end up dropping low. Then it looks like everybody is now facing different directions and crop low. That was so much compact in that 1/8 count. That was really cool. They hit. I like the fullness of the pressing of the chest on that. It's really dope. I like that we have a little claw uppercut motion, we have a grab, and we take it over the head. And I like that we have our dancers drop down, they prop up, really cool. They do a nice tension as they hinge over, really cool. So I like how they're going back to back. And then the sway is cool. Now I know their lore is they are werewolves, right? So that's fine. So there's a lot of this claw imagery, scar to scar. It's on brand. We love it. Anyway, the hop's cool. The clap's nice. So the jump off was nice. They go out in. I like the slide out of it too. And then they take it back. It's a ball change with a lift up whenever you go to the back. That's really cool. And when he hits it out, click, click, click. So a lot of these clap sounds, percussion, it does feel like we're entertaining. We're not entertaining step in movement. Now, could they do step and it could be complementary to what's going on? There's always a chance you could. But I like the syncopation and the fullness of the upper body does tailor on brand to that kind of entertainment of what you can be inspired by, right? So just for me, when I hear a bunch of claps syncopated like that, it reminds me of step. But that's from my American lens, and I'll rep it all day, right? So it's cool. But I like the switch up there. I like how he does a little prum, so we travel up our way from the legs, and then we end up using that in energy to press out to each side to help make it framed. I like how he sets his arms down, boom, to the sides, and then we look to the front into a boom, speed change, body roll. Come on now with the hinge. He does a little throw. My members they do a direction change on their bodies to get them to transition. Then your dancers, they end up staying low in that chicken wing squatted hinge position, and they end up framing diagonally to the outside. I like how it's deep. I think it looks like it's some lines it's 2, some lines it's 3, so it's like 2, 3, 2 is what it looks like on each side maybe. So you have your members, they go out, and then look, this kind of feels like an Easter egg of the Gen 5. Like I feel like we see this so many times, right? Where you have the heel twist and the toe twist, all to a respective side. Like it never fails. You're going to see that super often. I feel like I see it once a week at this point. No matter what I look at, even if it's like older era boy group stuff, I feel like I see that. It's like a boy group staple. It's like, if you don't have it, then are you a boy group? I'm just kidding. But the rotation on the arms is really cool. Did they end up rippling it? Probably. Let's see. You hear this sound? They end up going with the arms, and then they end up doing the switch off on the ball and the heel to create tension on that. And I like how they rotate those arms up and around, nice and full. I like the head on that is cool. We have our arms crossed. We drop it low, and I like that. We end up doing something very similar, but it's a different bass, hitting the same kind of timing, which is interesting. We drop low. I like the reverb on that with the different claws on the sides. Then I like the connection with our next feature of our members, and they pick it up, boom, and I like the tension of the sternum. Boom, lift, boom, lift. Really nice. I love that. And I like how our dancers are in their little packs, right? It feels like a wolf pack, which I like. Honestly, it really ties on brand. So they double it, boom, boom. So I like how we hit that on the timing there. It's cool. We'd say, hey, come on, let's go. 3-step turn out of that. Nice. We get our dancers spread out, and then you have your members be in different spots. And then they hit, boom, accent to the inside. And let me see. I think they go... yeah, inside, travel it around to outside, taking their chest, accenting it in. He hits it, boom. Nice little bass. There's your fan service right here. If that's your bias, you're welcome. Boom, he hits it, boom. Nice clock up with the head. Really dope. And then we get into 2 columns, and then we absorb it into 1. And team go. So it does feel like we're go, go, go. Because you saw, it looked like they had one of the images that they did give the impression on is when you have a like not even a radio, but like kind of, but it's like let's go, that kind of signal. It feels very like operative, which I think is kind of dope. Anyway, so you have your dancers on the sides nice and low, and I do like that we have it pretty on the same page. I wish that everybody was entertaining a similar idea. I don't know though. That's whatever. I love that one of them had to like throw his hoodie to the back. That's life. He has to fix it, and then we go, boom, out to the side. Good timing for him, because you can't really hear that when that joins in, so that requires some practice, right? So anyway, and I like the slide out. I love that. Boom, look at the fringe for days. The leg extended. Just having 3 lines doing it versus 1. The 1 line's really cool, but it provides so much depth in the space. It's really dope. And then you have your member in the back staying up, maintaining tension, and I like the switch off, building up the levels. I do believe on that stage right side, we could have some of our guys be a little bit more clear on the levels, so it feels like we're going low to high. I think the stage left side did a good job, as well as the members there. I like how he grabs there, the accents there, the heads are knocking, boom, from the back to the second to the back, which is really cool. Then everybody stands up. I like that we have the switch off, where you just have half the members end up doing the switch, and then everybody in the line doing the switch. It's cool, and it provides some separation from your members already from the rest of the dancers, which is cool. So we have a little grab on the wrist there. He ends up using that as like a little partner moment to switch around. Now, it does help connect that little subtle partnership that we saw earlier on in the intro. So everything in the intro felt like foreshadowing into the track, which I like. I like stuff like that. It feels complimentary, it feels cohesive, and it feels thorough. Nice. So I like the slide out of it. There we go. We remember seeing that, right? A little bit earlier, but just a different formation. So that's cool. I like the tension on that. He says, come on, now we're building it up. Now you still have your dancers on the sides. You have your members here. They go out, nice little Superman, but we have more of a claw, stylized hand, and we take it over, da, 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 and we have your tension, boom, bringing it low. I like the throws from our dancers from outside through, and then he's running through. I like that, and they end up doing it about twice, and then they basket run away. I know the basket run is to not be distracting, but it will always be distracting to me, and that's okay. I am like one person out of millions. What I say does not go. I'm just one person's opinion. That's life. I love the crawling on that. Part of me wishes we kept going, but also we have to think logistics on the stage. If this was the only thing that they were making it for, then yeah, keep doing the choreo until you get off. But if you got to get off quickly to get off stage so the camera can go where it needs to go, then that makes sense. A lot of these shots we're not going to see on that show, the TMA show, right? So I get it. That's life. So I like the subtlety there with the knees, which is really fun. And they go da-da-da, so it's definitely like a Millie Rock. Come on now. And then I like the little shamrock pivot, boom, over. I like the force on that. The cross is nice. Take the arm and swing it out, bring it to the front. And it goes hit, boom, boom. I like the head knock on that too. We hit it out, boom. And then we, I like the bounce on that. That was super cool. They hit it, boom. And I like the throw out of that too. They go hit, boom. Tension. He goes, shh, da, da, boom. Come on now. And we end up throwing, which is also nice. We travel, and then we rotate it through. And we hit it, I love that. We have that tension, so we swing in it onto our legs. Yeah, duh, Jess. But I like that we're teetering our way from one side to the other. It's not even legato, like we're not dipping the hip. We're just transferring the weight over, and I like the, come on now, what you want. And I like the little, there's these little like bites, little jabs that were, you know, and honestly gives me more like sometimes with snakes, like they're going to pop out like that. It feels kind of like that, but I do know because of wolf imagery, we're going to kind of keep it on brand of that, but that's still really cool. They hit it to the knee, travel to the other knee, travel it up there, and then we travel it around, and then we do an accent with the fringe down, traveling it up the body, and then we end up creating a nice circle with our arms expanded to the outside, and then we have our member in the middle. And I like how we go. They bring our arms, boom, planted firmly together, and I like that it's mirrored and balanced. So we have it corners, we have sides, we have corners, and then we have front, and then we have an outlier in the middle. Really nice. Very, very nice. And I like the tension on that. Looks great. I like the turnout of it too. Come on, twinkle, twinkle, twinkle. I love that. That looks great. And they end up creating a nice little crawl. I like the crawl there, which actually reinstates the crawling that we saw earlier from the dancers to get off stage. Even though we can tie it to more animalistic, it's still, I like seeing the overlap in fingerprints on the original scar to scar to what was modified for your dancers being added in. So I like that. That was cool. We end up having them run around. We hit and then we drop low. And then we lift it up, and then he takes it. They swing their arms around. They go out and hit. Really nice. The punches were cool. They rotate the arms around with the fringe, and then we pull, boom, nice little pull angs different directions to get us to a new feature, which is my guy right here. That right here. It's and team go. That's what that reminds me of. Whoops. Just like a radio or something along those lines. Yeah, it's like and, halt, ready, go. Come on now. Come on now. They drop down. I like how he knocks his head up. Everybody drops low. And then they pop right back up. Goodness bless those legs. They hit like the reverb. Da, da, da. So I like the syncopation on that. out in. I like the travel around with the head is cool. The claw is nice, and I like how we travel it behind the back is nice there too. They hit, boom. I like the claw to the front, and then we do a little lift there, and then we get hit, out, boom, drop it, and it goes pain. So I like that pull coming at it right there onto the chest. Not the chest, that was the base of the hip. Chest, you know your body parts. Okay. They hit out in with the knee, and then they end up traveling it down. Notice that we're all grabbing that wrist. It shows, you know, a lot of information comes from hands. That's why stylized hands can really help carry a message. This alone, we think we're clawing, right? And sometimes you can pantomime so many different pieces of information too. So that's why I really like recognizing hands when we see them, because they're there and they're intentional to placement for a reason, just like what you're seeing here, right? So they're grabbing it there, and I like how we transfer it over. I like the flick up onto the head, looks really nice. Then they end up doing it twice. So they could have done, so that's an add-on dynamic wise, but they ended up repeating it twice. Do they repeat the phrase? I don't know. But a lot of times what I've learned is sometimes whenever you intentionally repeat a sequence of movement, it's to really showcase, here's what we're talking about and here's what we're pushing. We really want you to see this message in particular. It's the same thing as whenever you're saying, okay, are you okay? Are you like, okay? Like when you repeat a word, that sometimes can make it feel a little bit more like real versus just a K, like, what's it? Like a, K, I can't word today, guys. I'm so sorry. I don't even know what I was trying to say. I'm so sorry, guys. Anyway, so they end up adding it on. Da-na-na. They're recognizing the da-na-na, da-na-na. So they did the same choreo to do it as an add-on because it was cleaner. Now, could they have done it from one side to the other? Yes, but I don't mind the fact that we had a dynamic there by repeating the choreo. Traveling over. I like the tension on that with the legs to make it nice in the weight shift. And then we end up switching it over to the side, and then we travel it across the forehead. And we go brush, brush to get it more towards the front. And then we knock it with the heel, and we go high, and then boom, boom. I like the extra rebound on that. So we swing it up and then go low, low. Now, you could woe it, but they didn't. It's more just clocking it from high, low. And then they take it over. I like the boom. I like having our head just kind of wobble to the side on that in ISO. And then we have a little tap out of the leg. It's cool. And then we use the arms to swing over to the get us transition to a V. Looks great. Notice again, stylized hand. And scar to scar. There we go. Hold on. What are they doing moving one? Yeah, to scar. Nice. Scar to scar. And then we have attention. He has this little moment here. Na, 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 na. Nice. And so they end up doing some running to get us transition. They're over on the side. Now I will say some of this can be chalked up to camera shots. Remember, Scar to Scar is a performance video. So some of the choreography could have very simply been structured for camera, not for a live performance, right? Yes, they do perform it live, but fixed cam, I'm tending to be in the position of, you know, this wasn't like a music show kind of title track. It didn't feel that way. Let me know if I'm wrong. I'm so sorry. But this kind of stuff, that's life. Like, I'm not really bothered by it as much in this lens in comparison to if it was like a title track and we know we're performing it in a concert format or in a music show format, right? So notice it's like a word show or for a performance video, it's a little bit different. So I like how we have it. He's running through. I like the climb up there is nice. The grab right there is cool. And then you have them coming from the corner. They do a little thread through, which is also really nice. They end up opening the arms up. They do a little bridge recover out of it. Now it is a bit muddled over here. Could it just very simply be the sequence and spacing? There's always that chance. Because you got to look where they have a marking right here. Boom. It's so faint. But that's like the ugliest line ever. I'm so sorry. But there's a white line that you see. That's probably a reference point for the video. So could that be what some of this stuff is marking to? Always a chance. So that's whatever. That's fine. The drop down's nice on that. So yeah, they swing it through. Yeah, because I look at the spacing here. We don't have like a ton of spacing. But also they end up getting their spacing for the next formation. Crispy clean. So part of me thinks this was intentional. Right? So some of our guys they weren't able to do a full bridge recover. That's life. In a one take, we pick our battles. It's fine. The grab there is fine. The press backs are nice. And I like that we have him kind of contained very similarly to what we saw at the beginning of the second verse, right? So that was nice, but he ended up keeping the arms connected. And I like the knee slide there, and it was mirrored. Thank you for the transition on that. We have taken our arm, we end up pulling, like the angsty motion of that, and I like the buildup of the arms too. And team go, so it definitely feels like we have like a gun in battle. Like it's like a trench that we're kind of in. We're in the trenches here, is what this feels like, right? It's cool. It's cool. I like how he accents up. That was so clear. He's my feature. Everybody was dropped so low. Come on now. Yeah, they were just down. Of course, we had one guy in up, but it was over in the corner. But like seeing the clarity of everybody else dropping low, psh, that was sick. So that was nice. We hit and then we dropped down. The little hinge up over is nice. And then we're taking our heel twist from that outside, having an arm to complement it. And then we end up creating a nice accent from the back leg. There's just so much, so many weight transfers on this. There's not a lot of time to think. So cool for that. Da-da-da, boom. I like how we swing those arms. And then we plant one to the front. We're nice with the pickup of the leg. And then we create it right there to the neck. Bring it back. Boom, there's your claws again. So it kind of feels like we're here, boom, ready for war, ready for combat, right? Feels very much like that. And then you have that trace across on the stomach, not on the chest. We're learning the grab, and then we end up creating it as a fist. I think anything going from here to here, here to here, I think there is intention behind those choices, right? And that shadow, my. Yeah, so it's I think we're repeating a phrase, or it's phonetically similar in how it sounds, right? That scar to scar. Yeah, it's a scar. So we're just different places. I think you can just get scars. It's funny. The trace around is cool. And then we end up creating 2 diagonal columns, which is nice. So it has a little motion there. I'm going to say 2 diagonals parallel. That's light. They're not columns anyway. So hit it over. I like the little accent, that little knock with the knee is cool. And then we go trace, scar, 2, scar, and then you have a little angsty push forward from another member for his feature. Then your dancers, oh man, they feel like little ants that have just infiltrated a colony is what that felt like to me. But that's life. Okay, so we're here. And then I like that they end up doing little grabs there. And we had it in do-do-do-do-do-do, and the pullback's really nice to hear that do-do on the bass. Then having these dancers join in, I think super fun. So we go up, and then we have a little legato energy happening, and then we pull from the chest, and we lift up. Da-da, that do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Where have I seen that from? Oh, hold on. I do not remember, but there is a choreography I have seen that does a sequence similar to this. But boom, done. That little double bounce. Golly, why can't I not think of it? The little body roll, da-da-da, and the pull up. It's just that it's the syncopation with some subtlety and tension in the legato. Like, that's really fun and very fascinating. Then you have a throw with the elbows. So it looks like we're knocking somebody on our elbow. Come on now. And then I like the kick. Boom, boom. Accenting with everybody going forward is really nice. And then you have your dancers help tailor to the outside. So they're fitting in quite nicely where you have your 2, and then your group of 5, right? Right. Yeah. And then you have, some of them are in, darker fits, so it's a bit tricky. But then you have your dancers kind of fit in like a puzzle piece to the outside. So that's smart logistic-wise without changing the choreo too much. And I like, and I like how we end up letting our wrist control the direction on that. It's like a little figure 8, letting our hand do what we want to do, which is nice. We pull, we hit it up and across. I like the trace, and then we dig out of it. Nice heel on that. And we turn. I like the kick, drop down. He lifts up, which is also nice. I like the switch up there. And then we take it over with our arm, with our body up like a tabletop, and then we're ending up rotating it through, and I like how we end in a nice crouched position. Some subtlety happening here. Your members come up first, and then you have your dancers come up second, so that's nice to go up, or our members transition first, and our dancers are still chilling and lifting. Here we go. And they hit, boom, I like the accent coming out of that, looks great. They swing it down, I like the accent up, right there onto the arms, chest. Look, stylized hands. Love it. We're keeping them throughout. Hit, and then we do a little pivot point with our chin across as well. Looks great. There's your claw. Locking it behind us as well is really fun. Traveling it up. Do-do-do. Boom. I like how we punch it forward. Then we have a little grab. Then we have our moment. Boom. Drop those hands. Come on now. And there's your trace across. Once again, very angsty. He does a throw. That was a counter throw from the trace that we saw earlier. Nice. And then here's your moment there. Different directions, angsty. Pose point from your members, and your dancers are also going low, high, depending on the line that they're in. It was nice. So we go shadow. Yeah. Da-da-da. Same thing. Twice. You end up seeing it repeated there. Oh. It's Scar to scar, same thing as before, but having the dancers there builds it to a really nice place as the last time we're seeing it, right? And it looks like we're brushing the scars off a trace. It's really cool. Then we end up doing a little envelope, which is nice. It goes high to low, up, and then they double it down, just like we've seen it before. And then, yeah, all of it has a sense of combativeness, just like you're going to war, combat, but then you also have a lot of these punches like we're going up to bat, to really go for it. And so I like a lot of the complementary movements that we can tie to other sports or to other circumstances, but putting them together, it shows like a communal, we're in this together, let's go. You know, it's cool. Yeah, it's scar to scar, claws right there as well. I like his little finger wag there to the front. And we go scoop, place the arm up, and then we go in, and then we have our dancers right there into it does feel like a semicircle, more so than anything. And he hits, ba-da-na-na, and we drop those arms, and they drop their bodies. And we are tired. There you go. Very nice. I enjoyed this very much, and I'm glad that there is a fixed cam of at least the scar to scar portion. It's nice to throw in an intro or two to see how they built it, because you get to talk about other logistics like making what happens when you have just your members versus when you have a bunch of dancers. You do have to think about getting your dancers in and out. For me, the easiest way to get a dancer in and out of frame is a basket run, which is why I feel like we're in a position where I think it's totally fine to hold choreographers accountable to let's figure out more efficient ways to be creative, just like you're creative in structure of your members, structure of the dancers, complementing in content and in dynamics, to figure out a different way to get them in and out of a shot. Like, because the market is so saturated, and what it does is it kind of just makes my brain, when you're so saturated in something, just lull and kind of ignore that, but not in a good way, right? I want to appreciate all facets of the performance, not just the ones that you want me to see, right? Unless it's specifically tailored to camera, which part of this is, so I will chalk it up to that. But does that kind of make sense? So I think that's kind of where I come from when I do kind of get a little spicy when it comes to basket runs and I see them, especially in a mega crew format, because I see it too much, I think is my point. So anyway, I like the beginning run with the legato though. I want to see more of that, I think is my encouraging word. But this was great, Alicia row one, as always. This is not the only Ann team I get to see this week, so I'm very excited to be able to take a look at more. You guys know me, I know you. I'm Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye!